Welcome to GameCola Podcast number 12, starring Franzen, Michael Gray, Colin Greenhalgh, Nathaniel Hoover, Michael Ridgaway, and for the first time ever on the podcast, please give 2 super thumbs up to Captain Eric!
Look me over, I'm the captain. Go ahead and mess with me, you'll find out what will happen.
Everybody, welcome to the GameCola Podcast. GameCola Podcast number 13, is it? Ooh, that's bad luck.
We were higher than that.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought it was lower than that.
Looks like we don't know what number podcast this is. Anyway, on tonight's podcast, we have,
Colin Greenhalgh. Exciting writer for GameCola every now and then. Also works in the video game industry.
Nathaniel Hoover. Woo!
I'm Mike Ridgaway. I do the Quantum Geek articles here on GameCola.
I'm Paul Franzen, and I'm the editor-in-chief of GameCola.
What's up, Captain Eric? And I do Cheat Codes for Life, and I used to do Supercodes.
I'm Michael Gray. I write the 10 Reasons, I write Inside the Guide, I write Carbonated News, and Oh the Humanity, and pretty much everything else in the history of the world.
You don't write Gates of Life.
Yeah, there's a reason for that.
It's too good, I know. You can't handle it.
Wait, you guys actually, write stuff for GameCola? I just, have hired monkeys typing out on the keyboard, and eventually I pick whatever one looks the best.
I copy and paste stuff and then send it to Paul.
I have Banshee read all my articles.
And I just use the lorem ipsum text, but I just put a picture of, ducks or bunny rabbits on it so everybody's distracted and they don't notice that I'm not actually writing anything. Anyway, today on the GameCola Podcast, today or tonight, depending on when you're listening to this, we're talking about E3. There was a big E3 this month, and everybody's going to wrap up what happened, what they like, what was cool, that sort of thing.
Alright, so here's my take on it. I've been a Nintendo fanboy since I first got my NES back when I was 5 years old, and I've always been a little bit behind the times because my family always waited until the price dropped for me to get any of the new consoles, so I've always been a little bit behind the new technology, so E3 has never been something that I've really been jumping on top of saying, oh wow, I gotta watch this and see what's going on. But I have to say, I'm kind of, first of all, looking forward to a current gen or next gen technology that is not Nintendo, which is totally contrary to everything I've been working for all these years. The new motion controller that the PlayStation 3 was showing off, I was actually really impressed by.
This is Mike Ridgaway. I don't know, I feel like the motion control stuff that was exhibited, honestly, I kind of feel the gimmicky at this point. I felt similarly when I picked up the Wii, but the Wii's done a great job of it. They kind of really broke those records in that non-hardcore gamer market.
But here's the thing, Mike. The thing that was exciting to me is that they actually acknowledged that these would be motion controls for, casual gamers, but also non-casual gamers. One of the things that really annoyed me about the Wii at first, I thought it was gimmicky too, and I looked at it and I'm like, this is catering to an audience who isn't comfortable sitting there playing buttons, and I've written on my own blog about some of my complaints about having to, wave my arms around the whole time. But I think part of my problem with the Wii is that it has motion controls, and the ones that I've actually played now, it's mostly done really well, but I don't think they're using the motion controls to the fullest of what they could be doing. Maybe it's maxing out the Wii technology, but, seeing how you can actually swing a sword around, some of the things they demoed for the PS3, you can actually swing that sword around all sorts of different angles. You can actually do, looks like better painting and drawing than the Wii looks like it'll allow right now. Just all sorts of, real-time strategy games, first-person shooters, all things that the Wii could do, but it looks like just with that full range of motion, the total 3D, it looks like they actually have in mind specific kinds of games that they want to be making with these motion controls, not just saying, oh, here's motion controls, this will be a lot of fun. How do we incorporate this into games that don't necessarily need them?
Fair, fair. But what I'm saying here is that I see what you're saying, but I would rather just be done with when I want to sit down and play a game. I'd rather have the games I like to play. I'd rather not have to worry about those at all. I'd rather not have to worry about swinging a sword and whichever direction I want. I just want to say A or D or whatever to swing the sword.
I agree.
Don't want to get tired when I play my game. I use my games for life, not to exercise.
I would much rather swing my remote like a sword. I think that's a lot of fun. Has anyone ever played a game called Dragon Quest Swords? I think it's called.
I have played that.
I love that game. I think it's a lot of fun. I find that much more entertaining and engaging than just pushing the A button to attack, personally. But I think it's for me, it sort of worked okay in that game, and I have a feeling it doesn't work in a lot of other games.
You didn't have any trouble dropping your controller when you were swinging it around all the time, did you?
Not break any television. I broke my Select controller, though. I had a plastic sword attachment for my Wiimote, and during the epic boss battle, I was swinging so hard that the plastic attachment snapped in half.
Do you understand too that it's entirely based on how open they are with developers on this too? Like the Wii, Nintendo keeps a lot of Wii stuff secret. Like that's why Mario Galaxy looks so good and stuff like that. It's because it's a Mario developed or a Nintendo developed game. Whereas I feel like with Sony and Microsoft, they've already won a lot of developers over, and that if they can give these to these developers that we already know and love, they can do something at least interesting with it,
Yeah, that's true. And while Sony may be more open with their stuff, I'm honestly not sure about that perspective too, because Microsoft knows software and they're looking out for them.
Well, I don't know about that. I think Microsoft's been actually really helpful to developers. Their dev kits are actually the best in the industry right now, it would seem.
Oh.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of hate for Microsoft, but they're actually really good to developers. And personally, with Project Natal, I'm not sure how well that'll incorporate into games, but even like watching them, flip through the menu on it and pause and stop movies and stuff like that. It seemed kind of interesting in concept. I don't know if I'd pay, a huge price point for it, but
yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Well, you want to talk about Nintendo catering to the hardcore audience? That new Metroid looks amazing.
Yeah,
I'm actually a little worried. I've sort of been worried about the Metroid series ever since Hunters came out, because it's progressively getting more and more into territory that I'm not sure if I can follow it. Like I'm just fine with the platformers, and I was fine with Metroid Prime being a first-person shooter kind of game. But when they started doing things with the new controls on a system I didn't have at the time, and then when they did it on the Wii, which I also didn't have at the time with motion controls, I'm not sure if I played a little bit of Twilight Princess with the motion controls, and my arm was tired after 5 or 10 minutes. I'm like, I don't know if I can keep this up with Metroid. And so now it looks like they're taking it into a slightly different genre and throwing in all sorts of Final Fantasy-esque cutscenes and adding a lot more plot than I'm comfortable with in a Metroid game. So I don't know. It looks really cool, but it looks like it's starting to turn into more and more something that I don't recognize.
Well, did you play Metroid Fusion?
Yes.
Because I see this as, an extension of Metroid Fusion. Metroid Fusion, if not the only Metroid that had a little bit of dialogue and actually a little bit of a story.
Well, that's true, and I'm not saying that there's no place for story in the Metroid games. I'm just thinking about the story that they had for, Super Metroid was great. The story that they had for Metroid Prime 2, the way they developed it throughout the course of the game was great. And, I think they handled, I just got done playing Metroid Prime 3, and I think they handled the cutscenes and the voice acting and the character interactions pretty well. But, a lot of people have complained about the ending and the way that went, and I sort of have that cemented in my mind as the ending of Metroid Prime 3 is what happens when they really try and do a lot of plot with the Metroid game. And I'm not sure that I want that to continue into the next game.
That's fair. I'm personally going to give it. I love Metroid, and
I'm looking forward to the Metroid game as well.
Yeah, the only complaint I'd have is Team Ninja makes their games really hard. So
yeah, that's
I guess
true.
That's good for the Metroid series, though.
trailer, they have like the dinosaur-looking mother brain there, like for a couple seconds, blasting Samus, like at the end of Super Metroid. So I don't know if they're gonna, maybe it's a little bit of a remake or what, of Super Metroid, but either way, I love fighting me some dinosaur mother brain. I was actually, I was at work when Nintendo was doing their press conference, and I'm emailing back to my brother and kind of filling me in on this stuff. Like, yeah, Nintendo's talking about how they're screwing over the gamers, they're doing good stuff, well, I'm getting these little sentence-long emails every few minutes, and then I start getting one to say, oh my god, new Metroid developed by Team Ninja, I need to go change my pants. Oh my god, giant dinosaur mother brain, battle. Oh god, it's a Metroid with a story too. Oh god, I'm so happy. Oh Nintendo, I love you. And so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
My brother really, really, really loves Metroid with story. He's the biggest Metroid fusion fanboy. I think he's got the mother brain lost music like when she starts coming out of the bowl and screaming at you. That's one of his ringtones. I think he applies it for ex-girlfriends, actually. Yeah, that ringtone go off. Like, oh.
What else does Nintendo have besides Metroid, though? It's Metroid, Super Mario Galaxy 2.
And we have the new Mario Brothers for, is that the new?
Yeah.
Multiplayer.
New Super Mario Brothers
Wii.
Yeah.
Worst name for a video game ever, by the way.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask if people hated that name, and apparently it's
well,
true.
It was stupid when they called the DS game that, and now it's just worse because they used the same name but added Wii to the end of it.
You know what? I was actually okay with the DS version because it literally was New Super Mario Brothers. It was like the old Super Mario Brothers, but new. Sort of.
But the name won't make sense in 10 years if they make another Super Mario Brothers game. It will now be the old Super Mario Brothers game.
Well, if you think about it, with the Super Nintendo, half the games had Super attached to it. If you look at the N64, half the games had 64 on the end. So
I like Michael Ridgaway's idea. They can call it the new Super Mario Brothers. That's great.
Yeah, honestly, I am immune to bad video game titles. I mean, everything with a 64 on the Nintendo 64, everything was super. I mean, really stupid games nowadays. They're nonsense. Really.
I bet all your examples will be Nintendo games too.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, I was gonna say the biggest example of the game was the Wii. What the heck? What is that?
Remember when it was called the Revolution? That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My understanding of the Wii was it was supposed to be like we are playing together, and also so that form of togetherness, and also that it was a word that could be pronounced basically in every country, so that you don't have people who don't speak English attempting to pronounce revolution.
Anyway. Okay, I'm immune to that.
I'm not. It still annoys me.
I would have gone with like Super Mario Brothers 4 or something like that. Although that's technically Super Mario World, right?
Just calling it Super Mario Brothers 4 is dangerous because that holds it to an incredibly high standard. Because you've got Mario 1, 2, and 3, which have all been very firmly established, and if you suddenly decide to haphazardly call something 4, it darn well better be good.
Yeah, that's very true.
I would have gone just with Super Mario something else, not just New Super Mario Brothers. I don't know
Mario
exactly.
other M.
Super Mario 4
They could just call it Super Mario Bros. Wii.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been a little better.
Well, then it makes you think that you're playing the original Super Mario Brothers on the Wii. So, all around, I don't know.
What's the deal with the character lineup in that game? Mario, Luigi, and then 2 random Toad creatures.
Yeah, no idea. Maybe it'll be like Super Mario Bros. 2 or something.
Yeah, that's what I said, but it's not.
Actually, that would be awesome.
Yeah, we need more vegetable tossing side scrollers, I think.
Hey, don't knock.
No, I'm not knocking it. Mario 2 is one of my favorite games.
All right.
Don't worry.
You might have a problem here.
Yeah, they released a piece of fan art and said that's their preview for Zelda Wii.
Oh, yeah, they'd be,
Yeah, it's like, that doesn't count as a preview. Nice try.
I'm not even convinced that's for the next game anyway. That could be for any Zelda game.
Yeah.
That could just be leftover art from Twilight Princess.
Oh, what did they do? They had Link Rides a Train. That was fun. Wii Sports Resort. I think that was their other big thing.
Oh, yeah, there's another Wii Fit, too.
Yeah. Working with
Those all should all be fun. I mean, they're not going to satisfy the hardcore base, but I think they'll be fun.
Oh, did they announce the Vitality sensor, too? Did anyone hear about that?
Yeah, a little bit.
The thing that senses your heart rate while you're playing video games. Somehow impact gameplay, like you would use it in a game that's supposed to help you relax. Somehow.
Or you could do it in some, like, new Eternal, what was it, Eternal Darkness sequel.
Oh.
Yeah, that would actually be kind of cool if they did something like with Resident Evil or Eternal Darkness or one of the survival horror games.
Mm-hmm.
So they did, your heart rate integral part of the game.
Okay, so I think we're Nintendo'd out, unless anybody can think of anything else Nintendo did, so we can move on to, like, Sony or Microsoft, both of who did things.
Yes,
E3.
Yes, who would we like to look at first?
Sony.
Sony. All right.
Why not?
Okay.
Yeah, well, we mentioned their motion sensing thing, and just to recap, it's basically they kind of give you a wand, and actually you can have a wand in both hands, and it's got like a little light at the end and some buttons, and it links up to the iToy, or like the next generation iToy, whatever they're going to release, and the thing captures your movements with these little wands to be able to swing swords, throw stuff.
So basically, everybody wants to be the Wii now, right?
Yeah. Well, the difference with this, though, is that it actually is, at least from the looks of it, full 3D. That you wave your wand forward and you actually see your sword moving forward. It's not just you wave the wand forward and you slash
an
it.
attachment later this year, so that's supposed to help with that too. The Wii Motion Plus. Yeah.
Well, the one thing that I actually didn't get to mention before about the PS3 with the motion controls is that the one reason that I am excited about it, even though I do prefer to have a controller in my hands rather than some Wiimote or some motion sensor control, is that it looks like these games, at least the sort of motion control demos that they did, were allowing players to do things that they could never fully do with a regular controller, like really good first-person shooter aiming. Like, I can't play Halo or anything like that because I cannot aim with an analog stick. Like, I cannot aim with a regular controller at all on a console. On a PC, I can aim with my mouse just fine because it's got better precision for me, and I don't know. There's something about
I'm actually very much like that.
Yeah, and even things like the real-time strategy game. I think that's probably going to be a little rocky, but they demoed, a bunch of tanks on a battlefield, and then you'd wave your wand to circle the units and then draw out the path that you want them to take. I don't know if anybody ever played, I think it was Command & Conquer on the N64. I think that was what they did, but they've had a couple of real-time strategy games for consoles, and from what I remember, they were never executed very well because it was so hard to move your cursor around the screen quickly enough to get everybody. So things like that, you can do with a regular controller, but it's so much more effective so that you don't need to memorize wacky button combos or do things that the console controller isn't really meant for. So that's why I was excited about it. And it looks like that's why it might be a step up for the Wii, from the Wii for hardcore gamers. Instead of just saying, here's a control scheme that you don't need to learn how to use a controller in order to play. You can just wave it around and it works. It looks like there's more of an intent behind this than just being open so that you don't need to learn those crazy button combos. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox now.
Oh. Yeah, that's fair.
So what else did Sony do? I forget.
Mostly just a bunch of sequels like BioShock 2, God of War 3, Gran Turismo 5, and Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah. All the stuff that looks pretty good, really looking forward to God of War 3 and what was the first one you mentioned, Michael?
BioShock 2.
Yes, BioShock 2. Really awesome.
We'll
I'm
see
just
about
glad
that.
you're getting it.
I have doubts.
Whoa.
I have doubts about BioShock 2. Yeah.
The Shock
I said it.
series has been awesome so far. System Shock 2, BioShock.
Oh, I have no complaints whatsoever about BioShock. I talked about this in the last podcast, so I'm assuming you already know my argument here. So
Actually, no, I haven't had a chance to listen to that.
Oh, I'm just worried because the lead designer from BioShock doesn't have anything to do with this, and I'm concerned that I'm not really sure where the story can go from here. That it would make any sense.
Fair. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm just apprehensive.
They've also tacked on a crappy multiplayer as well.
Yeah, there's that too.
Yeah. Again, for most of these things where the history has been generally pretty good, I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Beatles rock band.
I have a friend who's very excited about that.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of lame how the Beatles came on stage to promote the game, but they didn't actually sing. It's like you can't call it a Beatles reunion on stage if they don't sing, you know?
Well, you can't really call it a Beatles reunion if you don't have all the Beatles.
Yeah, I know. But still, I don't like the Beatles, but I still understand how it's a disappointment to have them there and not sing when they're promoting their singing video game.
I imagine it probably would have been prohibitively expensive to have them even open their mouths and hum. Or rather, you don't, I guess, really open your mouth when you hum, but point stands.
Well, I gotta think, too, that if the Beatles are gonna have any kind of reunion, they probably don't want to do it at a video game convention.
Oh.
That's my theory.
Okay, fine. I was wrong. I'll just sit in a corner and cry now.
Sorry, Michael. I didn't mean to make you cry.
It's okay.
I still love you, Michael.
Your favorite hobby doll.
Okay, what else? Anything
You
coming?
guys failed to mention anything about that new Trico game. Can't remember the name.
Yeah. What's it? Last Guardian, right?
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
right.
the sequel to well, it's like the third in the series of Ico and Shadow of the Colossus. My feelings were pretty well summed up by the Penny Arcade strip on it. Where they come out and say, like, listen, everyone knows this game's going to be great. That's not the problem. It's that this game is going to emotionally destroy you at the end. There's only two ways it's going to end. Either the Griffin's going to die, or the kid's going to die.
I'm voting for the kid.
I'm voting for the Griffin.
Oh, Griffin looks a lot cooler, though.
Yeah, but it's more heartbreaking if the Griffin dies at that.
I haven't played it. I sort of live under a rock when it comes, like I said, Nintendo fanboy forever. So one of these days I might eventually get around to, like, PlayStation or, something, playing games.
It's a game full of epic boss battles.
I liked it, but I thought it was kind of weird that we were just going around murdering these giant things that didn't appear to really be doing anything that bad.
Well, see, that's
yeah, but that's the way it is
scale
with
them
any
scale
video
them and
game.
stab them in the head, and they're like, oh, that's not very nice of you.
Well, I think this is it's a great game because, it explores the fact that in most games you tend to go around just, killing things. And, by the middle part of the game, you just start to get this growing, uneasiness in the pit of your stomach. By the end of your game, you're just like, oh god, what have I done?
So the kid's pretty much the bad guy in that game.
Yeah.
Are you ruining this game for me? Really?
Just, close your ears. The adults are talking.
Oh.
No, that's not a spoiler. That's just my theory on the game.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you can write it off any way you want, Paul. I still know.
Well, it's similar to BioShock, too, because...
I'll join Michael Gray.
Yeah.
We can cry
similar
together.
Sorry. I was going to say, it's similar to BioShock in that respect, because BioShock's a lovely exploration of, they go here, do this, go here, do that. And
Oh, great, now you've ruined BioShock for me, too. No, I never did play that game.
I thought you had.
Oh.
Alright, well, stop talking then.
Jeez.
You need to go play these games. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I only just got a Wii like a few months ago. So like I said, I'm really behind the times here. So I'm catching up. If we want to like re-record the end of this podcast in another like 5 years or so, I don't know, might have gotten through like Turok 64 or something like that.
I think you can skip that one if you want. It's all right.
Yeah, I think it's probably better for you to skip that one.
Okay.
Let's talk about the ending of it, though.
Oh yeah, where you find Turok made of chocolate and the dinosaurs are all nougat. Man, that was crazy.
And Turok's evil.
Yeah, evil chocolate. That's a great band name.
That is the Evil Chocolate. It'll be the new name for the Beatles because the Beatles can't reunite, so they're going to call themselves the Evil Chocolate.
I'd listen to Evil Chocolate.
So tell me about Microsoft, because I really didn't pay like any attention to the Microsoft side of things for E3.
Well, you got Project
Controller.
Yeah, I mean, I heard vaguely about that, but wasn't Steven Spielberg involved in that, or am I totally making that up?
No,
Yeah,
he
he-
introduced it, and then he went home.
Oh, I see.
Well, I know what I'm pretty excited about. Unlockable avatar clothing. That's going to be great.
Oh, yay.
Yay, stuff for achievement whores.
No. It might be cool. I kind of like that. I will because they're also going to start charging you to buy clothes for your little your Mii's in Xbox, but they're also going to let you unlock it. If like you can beat Halo 3 and you can unlock Master Chief's helmet or something to put on your dude.
Meh.
I don't think that's Microsoft's biggest announcement from the show, though. That's just the only one I paid attention to.
That's just the best one.
Yes. Oh, what else did Microsoft do? They're bringing Facebook and Twitter to Xbox Live. Yay.
What?
Yay. Yes, Facebook and Twitter are now going to be on your Xbox Live. You can Facebook from your Xbox.
You can post screenshots, which is kind of cool.
Okay, that's worthwhile.
I don't think we need more Twitter. I think we need less Twitter.
I'm waiting for Twitter to hurry up and die because it's not going to last more than 1 or 2 years.
Oh, come on. Why is so much negative hate for Twitter?
Because it's
annoying.
pointless.
Because it
What do you
sucks.
mean it's pointless? So is blogging. So is
No,
writing
already-
GameCola.
It's pointless because... okay, fine.
Ouch.
No, I'm going to go cry in the corner,
At
too.
Well, I'm
least
just
when I'm
saying, it's the
blogging
same
or writing an
thing.
article for GameCola, I'm not limited to 140 characters. I mean, Twitter is basically for people who are like, hey, everyone needs to know what I'm doing every second of every day. And the reality is, no, we don't.
Okay,
If
so
you wanna
people who
talk to me-
people who don't use Twitter have the impression that people are just posting, hey, I'm painting my nails right now. Hey, I'm going to the grocery store. Hey, it's not like that. It's entirely like, hey, if you see something cool on the internet, you post a link to it and say, hey, this looks cool, and then it
Why don't
goes
you just
out
post
to
it on
everybody.
Facebook, though?
Because fuck Facebook.
I mean, Facebook has the Twitter updates and other stuff, too.
I
Yeah.
never log on to
It's
Facebook.
It's like an
I never
MC
Twitter.
Escher painting
Yeah,
of
right.
an MC Escher painting of what's what I'm looking for? Useless crap about people's lives. Like, I don't need to know anything.
It's not
I
about
think
people's lives, it's
Facebook
about the
is kind of
internet.
stupid too. I have a Facebook account because I need to have one by this point, but honestly, it's just like, pick up the phone. Or
I don't have your
talk to
number.
me.
I don't have your number, man.
Yeah.
Well, I will give you my number after this. We will settle that.
We'll
right.
text. It's the same thing as texting. It's removing, it's taking away from a phone conversation and IMing. It's the same thing essentially.
I don't
It's like an
talking on
open
the
IM
phone.
to everybody.
Yeah.
See,
Tell me a Luddite that
if it weren't for the internet, I probably just wouldn't talk to anyone. It's not replacing the phone; it's adding something for me. So I wouldn't talk to anyone on the phone.
See, I disagree. I think stuff like Twitter and the internet is actually reducing is actually hurting the amount we talk to people because you don't get any FaceTime. You're content to exist in our little world. And I can point you to some interesting studies, but we will go on our own. We will continue talking about E3 and not. I will not stop harping on.
Yeah.
I thought we were on the make fun of Twitter segment.
Aw. Actually,
Yeah.
yay. I'm not a fan of
So-
Facebook or Twitter either, so yeah.
So the Twitter and the Facebook stuff, how people just dismiss it as, oh, it's just stupid crap Microsoft's adding. There are hundreds of thousands of people who are in love with this idea.
Yeah.
Just because it's not for you does not mean it's a huge improvement to, them adding things. And they've also added, Last.fm, which, isn't the greatest kind of like random music finder player, but it's kind of cool. It's, it's like, it works like Pandora, so.
Yeah, I know it's popular and it's going to work, but I just don't have an Xbox, that's all. Yay. I don't know, that's something weird that I am, I don't know, but for my carbonated news articles, all it is just me talking about the news and then bashing the hell out of it. Even the stuff I'm looking forward to, like, I want to see a Zelda Wii or Super Mario Galaxy, but I just insult it for being lame. Without ever having played the game. I don't know why. It's just
That's the power of anonymity, Michael Gray. You can say whatever you want, anything negative, and get away with it, because nobody knows who you are, Michael.
Yes.
That's one of the problems with the internet and Twitter.
And that's why the internet sucks. Not Twitter. Not Facebook.
No, Twitter still sucks.
Alright, fine. Whatever.
Sorry.
Wow.
Well, I'm not going to give you guys my Twitter account, so I'm not going to talk about it.
Oh no, we
Oh, no,
can't.
now Colin's gonna cry in the corner too.
Yep, let's cry.
Is there anybody left?
I think we're all crying in the corner.
Yeah.
About something.
I'm giggling over here, so.
Yes.
You're ejected.
Oh.
We
You're
won't
not
be
allowed in
able.
the corner anymore.
No.
Okay. Other stuff. Paul, you said you're excited about the Alan
Yeah.
Wake game.
Oh, well, that's not what I'm most excited about. But I don't
Oh.
know.
Okay.
It
I'm
looks
sorry. I'm
cool.
sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. We're just going out of order in terms of Paul excitement, whatever scale. Yes, thank you. Alan Wake looks cool. It's I don't know. It's kind of like a suspensey mystery game where you play as this best-selling author who has lost both pages from his manuscript and his wife. Manuscript is coming to life, and the whole world's dark, and everyone's shooting at him or something.
Both pages of his manuscript. His manuscript is only 2 pages long.
No, sorry. I think he lost several pages from his long manuscript.
Oh, okay.
You can't just rewrite them.
That'll make a shorter game.
Oh.
You have to do a whole lot to find these pages.
Yeah. This is why you need to save your, story on the computer rather than just write it down manually.
It's a good idea right there.
Yeah.
You should Twitter it.
That
Well,
would
maybe
take
his
forever.
computer is gone. Maybe they stole his computer and his wife and his manuscript.
Maybe
The
they're
internet
not
was
even
on the internet already.
This plot is getting too intense already.
Yeah. Oh well, it
Okay.
did look cool. It looked like a cool game. We'll see
Anyway,
what happens.
the thing to really look forward to is the new Monkey Island game that's coming out, or the new episodic
Yes.
of
Now,
Monkey
see,
Island.
I am looking forward to those, but I'm
No,
leery
there's
of
no
those
apprehension here, Michael Ridgaway.
because they're 3D.
No,
There is apprehension there, Paul.
There's
Yeah.
zero apprehension.
The art
The
style is not
episodic
the
stuff
best.
on the Wii is going to be 3D and on the PC.
Yeah. I know. Well, yeah, okay, fine.
And
But
what
Telltale
happened the last
very-
time Monkey Island went 3D?
Wait,
got
was it
Monkey
Telltale
Island
that's
4.
developing this?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Okay, then we're okay. No,
Yeah,
because
see?
I just played through all of Sam and Max season 1, and I read the review for the Wallace and Gromit episodic adventures. I'm not thrilled about the whole episodic deal because I actually like to just buy a hard copy. I talked about this on a previous podcast. I like to buy a hard copy version of the video game and be done with it, not like wait until all of the episodes are released and then see if they've made a compilation and hope that the compilation doesn't disappear in a year when I can't get it anymore. But aside from that, I am actually kind of excited because Monkey Island 4 was there were parts of it that I liked, but it really wasn't the way to end the series. So I'm happy that there's another installment.
I didn't like the game itself. It's just like the controls for this kind of.
I was okay with the controls, but some of the concepts of the plot and a couple of the puzzles just got so far away from what Monkey Island was that it looked like it belonged in another game altogether.
I just thought the controls were bad and the game wasn't very funny. And I was kind of offended. I was offended by the visual style too, because they perfected adventure game graphics with Monkey Island 3, and then they just totally regressed. And they're continuing to regress too with all the new ones too. But I can look past it if they're at least good.
You know what? I actually didn't mind Monkey Island 4's graphics. I mean, I kind of like Curse, but I felt I don't know, 1 and 4 for whatever reason sort of had the like quintessential "this is what Monkey Island looks like to me" styles.
Weird.
Yeah, I still liked 2 and 3, but I don't know, they didn't appeal to me as much for some reason.
Very interesting.
Huh.
I just like 3 because I think 3 also, I feel personally that the graphics hold up really well.
Oh, they still do, absolutely.
Yeah. Unlike a lot of games from the same era, this it still looks like a good game. So, I mean, the graphic-wise.
Right.
I agree. Vantage just played through all of them before because 4 was.
Yeah, she doesn't have to play 4.
Yeah, and I was really impressed by the graphics.
And I guess that's kind of weird that they are still doing the 3D stuff with 5, but they did it with Sam and Max too. I mean, whatever.
Well, yeah, and I think Sam & Max actually worked out pretty well. And it's in the game, it's in the hands of Telltale, and so far I have absolutely no reason to believe that they do anything less than at least honor the games. You know, even if the game isn't fantastic.
The head developer for this too is one of the head developers from Monkey Island 1 and 2.
Oh, cool.
Dave Grossman.
Oh, nice.
He's one of the higher ups at Telltale, and he's heading this game. So hopefully, it'll be good. I have zero doubt that this game will be good. Won't be bad. Will be good. Wait. Oh God.
Yes, we knew it. Paul, you're only buying it because of the Monkey Island license. It's a licensed game, Paul. That means it's gonna suck.
Oh. Stop twisting.
EA brings you Monkey's Island.
Yes.
And Paul has jinxed the new Monkey's Island.
Aw, but come on, everybody loves when George Lucas remakes old material from several decades ago, right?
Shut up. You're making me remember the latest
Monkey
Indiana
Island
Jones.
Special Edition.
Best Indiana Jones game or movie?
Shut up. We're not
I love
talking
the
about
fourth one
that.
best, Michael Ridgaway.
No, I was talking about Star Wars Special Edition. Where which is just what they're doing with Secret of Monkey Island Special Edition, is they take the original footage and they're going to slap stuff onto it.
But
you can switch back and forth.
Use the old graphics too.
Yeah,
You can choose.
that's pretty cool.
But what I really want to know is, are they going to let you use the old graphics plus the new voice acting? Because I'm looking forward like crazy to the new voice acting for this. Because what's his face, Dominic Armato is just
Armato, yeah. Oh, is he coming back?
Yeah, he's come back. He's doing the remake and the new Monkey Island games.
Oh, that's so exciting.
He's apparently a huge Monkey Island fanboy.
Yeah.
Like everyone else.
Yes. I haven't played Monkey Island, though.
Oh.
Yeah. I've got the Curse of Monkey Island lying on my floor. It's been lying on my floor for like 2 weeks. I will play it.
You played every single Nancy Drew game.
Yes.
But you haven't played Monkey Island 3 yet.
Nope. I'm going to get to it eventually. Okay, isn't it time for Nathaniel to go away and do stuff?
Jeez, it's like every time I show up anywhere, that's like something anybody inevitably says. It's like, isn't it time for Nathaniel to go? I love you too, guys. I'm calling this corner to myself. You can all go away.
Well, no, I'm just calling that because I don't want this podcast to be
because you
too
want
long.
him to leave. Yeah, we know.
Yeah, I know.
Michael Gray's kind of a jerk.
I'm out of here. I'm Nathaniel Hoover, and in case you haven't read it yet this month, go check out Flash Flood in my latest review that is not a Mega Man review. Wah! See you later, guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
We should get back to talking about E3 because, I wanted to mention Brutal Legend, which I'm very much looking forward to playing despite people, knocking on Jack Black, but hey.
By another Monkey Island alum right there, Tim Schafer.
Yeah. Well, looking forward to that. Looking forward to Overlord 2. I enjoyed the first game. Not the best game ever, but it's fun. I like controlling my evil minion.
Mm-hmm.
And, what else did we have?
Lego Harry Potter.
Oh,
right?
that's gonna
Everyone's
suck.
looking forward to that one.
Yeah, that's not real, is it?
It's real.
Paul, I hate to tell you, that game is not going to be very good.
Are you kidding? Have you played Lego Star Wars?
No.
It was GameCola's Game of the Year for 2006, alright?
What other games came out in 2006?
I'm sure there's a Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah,
I think Barbie Horse Adventure came out that year, and somehow it didn't win.
That's a shame.
I don't like the Lego
Star
games
Wars was
anyway.
great. Lego Harry Potter will be great. That's the only way you can make good licensed games is by turning them into Legos.
Correct, man.
Whatever. I played Lego Indiana Jones. I'm like, meh, lame.
I'm looking forward to Lego Nancy Drew. I'll play that when it comes out.
Oh, ouch. Oh, no. Ooh. Ouch.
Well,
You want to play that up a little
if
bit
that
more,
game
Dr.
existed,
Ray?
would you do your video walkthrough for it?
No. Well, at least Lego Harry Potter just goes to year 4. They're ending it there, which I think is a good decision.
Fine.
Try to avoid Harry Potter.
Because year 5 is when he gets emo.
Oh yeah, that's the one where like the whole book is just Harry shouting at everyone.
Yeah, the fans like to call him all caps Harry when he's basically shouting and trying to get rid of his wizard angst.
Well, maybe they'll just skip that and do the next Lego Harry Potter will just be book 6 and 7.
Aw, yeah. Whatever. Let's move on. Nobody's excited about Lego Harry Potter besides
Yes, we are
Paul.
all excited. It's going to be Game of the Year when it comes out. Just like Lego Star Wars.
Yeah.
Paul, like I said, Paul's excited because it's perfect for his maturity level.
Paul, if that gets Game of the Year, I will ruin GameCola with my anger.
Well, that wouldn't be very nice.
No.
Okay, what else is coming out? We've got Professor Layton 2, so we'll have more trouble in the Ridgeway Vanjie, or not? No, the Ridgeway / Rich House, which I call the Richway House for short.
A lot of people do.
Yeah, that's kind of an obvious joke.
Yeah, I'm going to be ignored for a week.
Yeah.
It'll be my comeuppance for ignoring her for weeks, as I do when I'm playing a game. Yeah.
Lizzo wants to get that game, but she feels like she can't because she played the first one, but she's still missing one puzzle somewhere in the game. So she has to get that, move on to the next one.
Oh, she should talk to Vanjie then. Vanjie's got all.
Yeah?
Yeah.
She was pretty into that game.
What else? Perfect Dark.
No, they're putting on an Xbox Live.
Yeah.
Arcade.
Whatever. It's gonna be awesome.
I know, but I've never played it. I don't know how it got on the list of games to write about.
The beauty that is Perfect Dark.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little more excited about it, but then Captain Eric and I played GoldenEye yesterday, and now I'm not excited anymore. Because it wasn't as much fun as it was in 1996.
Yeah.
Were you doing the single player, or were you doing...
No, we were doing multiplayer. And I killed him like 20 times for his 3 times he killed me. It was great.
Well, obviously you weren't playing it right, because that game is awesome, and it always will be.
Well, it was awesome in 1996, but, you know.
Paul, I think I should play you sometime, because I would totally kill you sometime.
When it comes out on Xbox Live.
Oh, is it? I don't have an Xbox.
Well, I don't know.
Just a random question. The Virtual Console games, they're not online, are they?
No.
Xbox Live they are.
Okay, so Xbox Live is cooler. Gotcha.
And you get achievement points.
Yeah, and you can unlock stuff to put on your Xbox Live tune, and then it's cool.
Yes.
Oh,
Paul's
boy.
on the same page as me. He likes it.
I love that stuff. Are you kidding me? I don't want to pay money for it, but I like doing it. Like, why even play video games if you're not going to get achievement points anymore?
Oh.
See, I have a PS3
Because it's a
and
freaking
a
video
360,
game.
and I won't buy games without trophy points in them, because that's just wrong.
It's
Why
ridiculous.
would
What's
you
the point?
not want achievements?
You're not being productive if you're not doing it that way.
Exactly. How do you show off to people how good you are at games without numbers?
Exactly.
It's the best.
I've been recently playing Fight Night 3 for Xbox 360 because there are certain matches, if you just win that one fight, you get like 150 gamer points. It's fantastic. I borrowed it from Eric. I didn't
The
buy
game's
it.
terrible. The game is just atrocious, but you need those gamer points, so you gotta keep playing it.
So you don't play games for entertainment anymore. You play games to
To be
maintain your
productive,
rep.
Bridges.
You gotta go out and you buy bargain bin games that are just terrible for like $9, and then you just get as many gamer points as you can in them.
Yeah.
That's the game. It's a whole Microsoft game where you gotta get the most. It's a meta game above every other game. It's
and
amazing.
whoever has the most points is the most worthwhile person. So it's cool.
Ever.
Yeah.
Do we know who the person is with the most points?
It's actually not me, I don't think.
Oh, then I guess we really shouldn't listen to your opinion then, Paul.
How many gamer points do you have, Michael? So why do you even play video games?
Mostly I have too much free time. Okay,
So
anything
what
else
I
to
do,
talk
I do
about, or
games.
are we going to wrap up the podcast here?
I can't think of too many other things that came out of E3 to talk about.
Left 4 Dead 2.
Yay.
Yeah.
Is anyone else here a PC gamer?
No.
Alright. I'm very annoyed at the PC gamers and their community that they've established about Left 4 Dead 2.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys know about like the boycott that they are proposing and stuff.
Yeah, I mentioned it. They're mad because they haven't finished all the updates to the first Left 4 Dead game, right? Something like that.
Essentially. So if you're a PC gamer and you're in love with Valve because they treat their consumers right, you're very spoiled on TF2 updates, which add, content. Essentially, they have very small amounts of content and very large gaps. So you'll get maybe like 2 new weapons every couple months. And then the rest is all, like mechanic tweaks, so it's basically just script changes. And then you'll get like a level that maybe, it's usually like a player-made level that's just really popular, and they actually like implement it into the full game. So you get a lot of free, quote-unquote, stuff, updates for TF2, and I guess everyone expected that out of Left 4 Dead. And so now that they have announced Left 4 Dead 2, everyone's just going ape shit about, like, where are all our updates? And they're upset that Left 4 Dead 2 isn't downloadable content, so it's not just like Left 4 Dead Part 2 or something, though it is, so I don't know why people are upset. So they're initiating this, like, boycott over, first of all, they don't know how much it's going to cost. So if it's like $20 or $15, that's a pretty good price, and pretty much downloadable content price, in my opinion.
That's how much Left 4 Dead 1 should have cost.
Well, I kind of agree with you there, based on the content.
I don't know what your experience was, but Eric and I beat it in like 4 hours. The single
Right,
mode,
but
not the campaign mode.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you beat all 4 or 6 campaigns, or is it 4?
4.
It's 4. But I mean, did you play multiplayer, like versus?
Yeah, but I didn't really like it. I wrote about it in Gear Readers before. I was annoyed how the multiplayer, like the versus mode, was basically the same thing as campaign mode, except that 50% of the time you got to do something cool and beat a zombie, and the other 50% of the time you're just doing the same exact thing you did in campaign mode. I thought that was kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
So I personally felt very ripped off that I paid $50 for that game.
Well, did you get it on? Did you get it for the PC or did you get it for the 360?
The 360.
I think if you were buying Valve games for the 360, they can't get updates to you. Like, people who bought TF2 and Orange Box for the 360 aren't getting any of the free updates, because Microsoft does not want to put free things up on the store that's like actual content. So they have to fight with Microsoft.
Did you play the PC version?
No. But
See?
actually, yes, you do. There are achievements on Valve's Steam system, and you use the achievements to unlock the weapons that are free with the updates. So it's actually a system of accomplishment that's, I think, worth more while than gamer points, surprisingly.
Whoa.
But
That's so crazy.
no, right? But I think if you're doing it on the 360, you're doing it wrong, because Valve cannot help you very much, and that's why I think people are mad, because I think it was only $40 on the PC as well, if you bought it online.
I think it was $60 when it came out on the 360, but I got it on eBay used. I still felt hugely ripped off. So
yeah, I don't think it worked well on the 360, unfortunately.
I mean, it was a really fun game. I loved the campaign mode for the 4 hours I was playing it. I just need a little more than that if I'm paying full price for it. Like, it would have been a great Xbox Live Arcade game. It would have been the best one, but as a full price game, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from in that sense.
But I mean, part of that's just because I really didn't like the versus mode at all. I'm sure if I was like really getting into that stuff, I probably would have been much happier.
Yeah. I just think it's stupid that people will like get all butthurt and like, oh hey, let's have a boycott, but you don't even know anything about the game. All you know is that there's a new level and there are new characters and that there are chainsaws, which is pretty awesome. I would pay $20 for that.
I'm personally not offended that they're making a second game.
Don't they just pirate all PC games anyway?
Pretty much. So you know.
So anything else from E3? We can talk about Monkey Island more because I'm still really psyched about that.
Anything else?
I mean, we're running over an hour here, so
Yeah. Nothing else to do.
Well, last time we went for like 2 hours when we were recording it last month.
Yeah, but that was just basically me talking. Marianne playing with the puppies, and I forget what Paul did.
I don't think I did anything.
You did something. You talked a lot. You got mad when I insulted Ender's Game.
Oh, yeah, well, that was a really stupid thing for you to do. Of course I said something then.
Oh, okay. Why would you read Ender's Game? Do you get achievement points for that?
Oh, man. Okay, now
with the Kindle, right? You get the achievement points?
Yeah, okay.
You're right. I should stop reading.
Mm-hmm.
You get achievements for doing. You can make your own achievements for stuff like you could read to like chapters achievements, but then you could make like kill a man while reading the Ender's Game, gets you more achievement points, or like
that is a fantastic idea.
We should set up some life goals. That should be a segment on GameCola. Is like made up achievement points for everyday like acts. It'd be like a game.
You could just print out a little sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could like send it in at the end of the month or whatever.
And we can see who has the most achievement points for life. Yeah.
Okay, everybody, this has been the GameCola Podcast on E3. That's us for tonight. I'm Michael Gray.
I'm Paul.
I'm Eric.
I'm Colin.
And this is Mike Ridgaway.
Okay, see you all next time, everybody. That was the GameCola Podcast, recorded in June 2009, brought to you by GameCola.net. GameCola.net, video game humor. The podcast participants were Paul Franzen, Eric Regan, Michael Gray, Colin Greenhalgh, Nathaniel Hoover, and Michael Ridgaway. Recorded and edited by Michael Gray. For more podcasts, please visit GameCola.net.